This is Byron Lazine and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 167 of The Real Word.
Word is up.
And offers are up, Nicole. This is just a crazy, never seen before. Well, I guess you have in 2005, 2004 timeframe, but really never seen before this kind of market.
Crazy.
We've got an article from CNN Business. 76 all-cash offers on one home. All cash, 76. I don't think I've ever heard a story that extreme. The housing madness shows no signs of slowing. This particular home, which was in Washington, D.C., was listed for $275,000 on a Thursday, which sounds like a really good deal. It was a fixer-upper. They had a
great deal.
Total of 88 offers. So apparently nobody in Washington, D.C. needs any financing, because out of the 88 offers, 76 of them were all cash. I've just never.
Well, the others were probably first-time home buyers, and they were probably FHA, like the normal people that are buying 275.
Well, once you heard there was 76 all cash offers, you're like, okay, my FHA loan just does not compete.
You're done.
I'm out.
You're out.
The offers just kept coming over and over. I mean, if there were still people that wanted to make an offer, weren't even able to get in there and make their offer. There was 15 sight unseen offers. 1,800 square foot home. It was a 4-bedroom, and it sold for, get ready, $460,000, a 70% increase from the asking price. Just to be clear, like if you're a consumer listening to this, you know, most agents that are listening right now know this is not the norm. This is an extreme case of what's happening. The norm, though, is that there are, if it's priced in the median price point or below, this is probably below median price point in the Washington, D.C. area, that there is going to be high levels of competition. There's going to be multiple bidders on every single listing.
Well, she did mention here that on most of her listings, she still is getting about 15 offers per. Sorry.
You're highly distracted right now.
Because you disappeared from my screen for a minute.
I'm like a ghost.
You are. Yeah. You were taking in offers for a minute there. Because she even mentioned that she's getting close to 15 offers on just a regularly priced house for that area. Yeah.
15 offers. Yeah. So this is a huge jump, 70% above the asking price. They clearly, they wanted this many offers, clearly, because they priced it really low.
So that's also really, I wish that she was on this podcast too, because I kind of like, did she price it purposely that low? Was that strategy? Did she price it based on what she thought was the market price? I mean, again, that's sort of obviously what we're all up against at this point, because if we're looking at comps from 6 months back, it's still, it's such a crazy game we're all playing right now. I mean,
I'd say this. If you're a buyer right now getting frustrated, or you're a buyer's agent educating your buyers, you've got to preach some patience right now. You do not want to get 100%. Caught up into the moment. And 5 years from now is a long time. A lot of things change. A lot of people will not even be with the same person they're dating or married to.
Wow, we're going there.
They won't have the same
That's what
job.
We're starting with?
Well, I'm just saying, like, a lot of things are going to change in 5 years that you don't believe have any chance of happening today. And many people's lives will be different 5 years from now. So if you overpay dramatically on a home, then you need to move in 5 years. That's going to be a mistake. There is such thing as a market value right now. What's happening, even in these pricing bidding wars, there is still a market value. And then there's overpaying because you got emotional, even beyond the current market value. And I worry for those buyers, the buyers that are going to overpay above the 2021 market value and just create a new market for themselves. And then those people need to get out. Like, you're going to have to forget 10 years.
You're gonna be in my position where 15 years later you still own the dump. And again, we were 23 years old, 24 years old. It was a highly emotional purchase in 2005. The problem is, though, too, we were stupid because we had a horrible agent, and it's one thing to overpay, but it's another
Nicole's
thing.
Old agent.
Well, she's not an agent any longer. She got out when the thing crashed because she was an idiot. So anyway, the biggest problem that we did, though, which again, as buyer's agent, like you're saying, education. We overpaid on a house in a town that we didn't even really want. Mm-hmm. So, it's one thing if we had overpaid and then now we're stuck in the town that we want. Like, we bought in a town that we didn't necessarily want, overpaid for it, and then got stuck there. So I feel like I agree with what you're saying that a lot of things can change in 5 years, but at least make the purchase where, okay, if this is where you have to stay longer than that 5-year period, or if this is your 5-year plan, don't buy it. But if you really are committing to staying there longer, and again, even if you're not, like, pick the right spot. Don't, like, that's my only advice there. But
that's why I'm a bigger believer in location than anything. And for full disclosure, people wondering what the heck. What the heck's going on with Nicole's property there? That's now a rental. That's an investment property for Nicole. You've been renting it out.
Yes.
You could sell it, in my opinion, today and recoup all of the money.
We're working on that. Easy now. I got to get my tenants out. Luckily, my tenants are paying, which is a great segue into our next racket.
That is a great segue. But we're not
done there yet.
That is a great teaser for racket number 2.
Great teaser, yes.
I think anybody.
But regardless,
you're going to be in a serious world of hurt if you get emotional and you feel like, I just need to move out of my apartment. Hey, listen, this is the advice I'm giving to my own sister. My sister's looking for her, for her purchase right now. First home. Yeah, it's right. Yeah, I guess it kind of is her first home. Yeah, her first home for her first purchase. Yeah.
Yes.
That's correct. And her and her fiance are, getting frustrated and impatient to some degree. The home they just recently put an offer in had 21 offers. They're working with Lee from our team, who's phenomenal. And there was 21 offers, had to go over asking price, went over asking by a good chunk, right? Which is like, as a real estate professional, it's a little painful to, have your sister going that much high, but interest rates are rising. It's a good value. You can't build it for what you're paying for it, type of thing. So, there's a lot of variables at play, but at some point you have to say, this is my number. They didn't get it.
100%. You have to do that, where if you lose it, you're okay. Yeah. You lose it and you're okay.
The one thing that's hard for buyers and buyer agents that are new in real estate right now, hard to kind of wrap their mind around, is tomorrow there's always new properties on the MLS. There's always going to be new listings tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to bring new inventory. It's always the case. And if you keep saying that to yourself, tomorrow's a new day, there'll be another listing. There's going to be another opportunity. Eventually the perfect one will fall into place. There will not be this much competition forever. So there will be less competition. There will be higher interest rates. Yes, agreed. But with consistent increases in interest rates, prices will stabilize and start to go the other direction. There's going to be a period of time where that is a lagging measure, where prices are still high. I mean, right now I'm starting to feel like, oh boy, if I'm a buyer, like, interest rates are high. The home values haven't reflected that yet and started to go down, and there's no inventory. It's almost, I keep saying it, it's the perfect time in our particular market to be a seller, and it's a really dangerous time to be a buyer.
For sure. Absolutely. Well, and I think, and luckily your sister has you and Lee to sort of be her advocate for that. Because again, I was talking to our local mortgage guy here, and he says he can't even get over the amount of agents that are texting him or calling him at 9 p.m. on a Sunday because his folks have put in an offer and they now need a pre-approval. And he's like, are you kidding me? Like, are you educating your buyers before you're even walking into these homes? Like, I haven't even pre-approved them yet.
Right.
Like, so, I mean, there's still so many crazy stories out there. Like, again, make sure you're hooking up with an agent that is really like setting up the groundwork for you so that when you do put in the offer, you may actually win it. And that you're not, again, going way above what you then like can afford. Because again, there's just this whole situation is crazy. And I feel like every state we're hearing the same story and the same frustrations. And even agents, like you're talking about emotions. I mean, a lot of agents are getting emotional over this too. Right. Which again, like your client is hiring you because like you're supposed to be non-emotional about it. So
the agent's complaining that they didn't win an offer. I mean, listen. Like in the situation with my sister, Lee spoke to that agent numerous times. I mean, this agent spent a ton of, I mean, we thought we were in the running because, I mean, I don't know why he spent so much time talking to Lee. Really nice guy. Spent a lot of time talking to Lee about, the situation, what we could do to, kind of really be, ultimately the seller makes the decision, right? But but
100%.
to be in the best position. And agents are like getting really upset when their offer doesn't win. And it makes absolutely, like, listen, when you have 21 options, it's almost, it's like going and playing roulette. Like, I think there's 36 numbers on the roulette wheel. Like, go try to hit your number on the roulette board consistently. It doesn't work out that way.
Right. Well, and again, what these agents are not realizing too, and you said, well, hopefully they are, like, it's 100% up to the seller. The seller can even tell the agent that they don't want the buyer, so there's multiple offers. Like, you are owed nothing from these agents if a seller does not want to disclose multiple offers. If they don't want to look at offers for 10 days, they're allowed to. And again, like, I was on this one Facebook page, and this woman was just so angry because day one, her clients came in with $50,000 over, no inspections, no mortgage contingency. There was a rent back in there where the owners could stay for 30 days. And she was so upset that the agent got back to her and said that they're giving all the offers in the middle of the week, and that he's not so certain that the sellers are going to be countering at all. And she was irate on this Facebook page. Like, how dare they? It's so disrespectful. Why midweek? Like, isn't it his fiduciary responsibility to give it to him? And like, why wouldn't he counter? And again, a lot of agents below were like, if that's what the seller wants, like, that's what the seller gets. Like, but not to mention, if you know that there's 52 other showings happening, like, of course the seller or the seller's agent is going to try to get as many offers as possible. That's your job. Uh-oh, you're pointing and looking. What?
Oh, he muted himself.
You're muted. Why are you muted?
No, I did. I muted myself because there was such a racket going on over here. The AC guys are here to fix the AC. So we've... hey, can I get 10 minutes, please? Look at that. Look at that. Mid-podcast, 10-minute request. No, listen. It. The moral of the story is you cannot get emotional. You can't let your emotions get the best of you, because that is when you're going to make a huge mistake in this market.
Yes.
And
right.
Listen. And
have some really angry buyers. Like, again, like you said from at the very beginning, set the expectation.
Sellers have no fiduciary responsibility to anybody, including their seller's agent. They are the owner of the home. It's their property. It's their money. And do whatever the heck they want. Buyer's agents, buyers, listing agents, you've got to just deal with that. That's the reality. If you wanted the control, then you should have already owned the real estate. Racket number 2.
Racket number 2.
Man checks neighbor's real estate listing, so online, checking a listing, and spots his cat lounging on the bed. We know that neighbors always like to snoop on their neighbors, real estate. Oh, did you see, Sue and Bob's house just went on the market. Let's go over to the open house this weekend, or let's check it out online. I've always wanted, they've never had us over for apple pie. Let's go see what it looks like. This one was in the UK. A British cat's unfaithful ways are no longer a secret after it wound up in a nearby homeowner's real estate photos. We got to put the photo up here.
Have to.
I mean,
well, you have to put Mike's. He's like, that's our bloody cat.
Yeah, that's a tweet. The neighbors just put a house up for sale. Couldn't resist checking it out on Zoopla, which I would guess is their Zillow. Have you heard of Zoopla?
I've never heard of Zoopla.
No, I didn't know about that.
It's actually more fun to say than Zillow, though.
Yeah, Zoopla. Anyways, Zoopla. I don't know why the agent. This might be a for sale by owner situation. I don't know why the agent would put that photo.
Well. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother podcast. Because I agree. I mean, get the cat out of the photo. I'm surprised the photographer, if it was really a professional photo, which it could be, maybe, I don't know, but I agree with you.
One woman shared a photo of her orange cat, explaining that he has 4 homes. He is currently asleep on the sofa. He's not my cat. But he's there all the time.
The neighbors.
Yeah. So.
Well, I have to admit, my neighbor used to babysit our dog, but not we didn't pair or anything. Like, the dog would just run over there, and then a few hours later, we would always go back and be like, okay, it's time for Marley to come back home.
I had a cat back in the day. He would do this, but I think the homeowners used to let him inside, but the neighbor.
Well, if he was inside, then they would have had to let him inside.
No, I think they would. I would always see him on the front porch, just like taking a nap on their front porch. And I know he would take a nap on their back porch. The neighbor directly across the street from me, I'd pull in. I used to call him Gator Cat.
Well, they're definitely giving that cat something if the cat keeps going back over there. I mean, if they're being mean and shooing it out, I mean, they're giving that thing food or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or a more comfortable
And they also
mattress.
knew that you were the owner, so they probably felt bad for the cat.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's not about the cat. There's no question homeowners are always interested into what their neighbor's property looks like. So if I'm an agent and I'm doing an open house, I'm making quite certain that I'm inviting all those neighbors for a preview, a half-hour preview of the open house, so that, hey, you get an opportunity to snoop, and I get an opportunity as the local expert to meet you and create a relationship. So that's a tried and true tip.
Absolutely. Well, we talked about that on episode 166 about mailers and mailings, and how to use that certainly as part of your open house strategy is to invite the neighbors. Absolutely.
Go check out last episode if you want 10 tips on how to get listings in this market. We run through them all. All right, Marketeer of the Week. This one's from CNBC. We didn't do any Inman this week. I think that might be the first time ever. So we apologize.
Ever. Well, I don't want to say that. We can't say that. Ever in 167 episodes.
It's a rare occasion. It's
very rare.
All right. CNBC says some landlords sell properties as CDC extends eviction ban. They just did that in the last couple of days because it was due to expire March 31st. They extended the eviction ban all the way to June 30th. So you can't, smaller landlords, you cannot evict anybody till the end of June right now. So this is putting a squeeze on those smaller landlords who are unable to directly access COVID rental relief funds, and some are starting to sell properties to recoup the losses. You're probably wondering, how the heck is this the Marketeer of the Week? Agents, you got to use this as an opportunity to educate the landlords in your market on what their property value is. Hey, they just extended again till the end of June. You don't know if they're going to extend again or not. Here's what we do know. Your property is worth significantly more than what you paid for it. And here's the number you can get. If you want to turn this into somebody else's headache, put it on the market today. I guarantee you, I mean, I guess you can't guarantee, but I guarantee pretty close, 99% chance that I'm going to be able to sell your property for all the money. I mean, look, if there's 78 all cash offers in that neighborhood in Washington, D.C.
And 15 of them are sight unseen.
Yeah, sight unseen. Some of these are investors.
You don't have to worry about the tenant.
Some of these people are just looking to spend some cash somewhere, and they're willing to sit on your problem. So if you're really stressed out about it, and if you're a landlord that needs that monthly income, go ahead, take all the equity if you're done being a landlord. It's a huge opportunity for agents to go find, this is number 11 from last week. Another opportunity to go find listings in this market.
We have an agent on our team that's actually doing that. She was able to pull up a sort of absentee homeowners, like second homes.
You do that on Remind?
Yeah, she's been calling, and it sounds like she's been securing a few listing appointments based on that. So it's working. Yeah,
I mean, there's a bunch of stories in here. It's been 6 months with these tenants, and we've lost, I think I'm out about $12,000 just in the rents. I mean, and listen, if something breaks, they still got to go fix it. It's not like,
it's horrible.
If a landlord's not being paid the rent and the heat goes out, they can't just say, hey, you know what? Sorry. They still got to go fix the heat.
Right.
So a census survey this month found 15% of renter households, or 6.7 million, said they were behind on their rent. 15%, 6.7 million behind on the rent. Additionally, nearly 27% or 11.8 million households have slight or no confidence in their ability to pay next month's rent. Some estimates are close to 60 billion in back rents, and fees are owed fees that are owed since the pandemic began. 60 billion. So with this, here's the thing. With this eviction ban, a lot of times people are thinking, I'm gonna wait till I evict, then I'm gonna sell the property empty so I can get the most money. This could continue to hold up inventory. I would talk to your local real estate expert if I'm a landlord and say, you know what, maybe I put with the tenant in place. There's somebody out there, you just never know, that's willing to take on that eviction later on down the road or work out a solution. There's plenty of creative people that will go to that tenant once they own the property and say, hey, here's, they're just going to factor into their purchase price.
Right.
Here's $10,000. I want, you got to sign here. You got to move out.
Yep.
You get the money. Once I start seeing you move out, I'm going to give you the money, and you're going to move on, find yourself a new place so that I can actually control my real estate. There's ways out of it.
Right. Absolutely.
Got to get creative.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, what's the worst case scenario? It doesn't sell, and you're still in the same position. I mean,
right.
That's
right.
Anyway, so.
All right, that's it. We've got a really good guest for Real Word Confessionals. If you're not subscribed to the Real Word, make sure you do that right now. We've got a amazing guest, the #1 agent in all of Hoboken, New Jersey. She has over 25% market share in that city. So you definitely want to tune into that. That's later this week. And we got Tom Ferry next week. Hello.
I think, have we disclosed that already?
I think so. Yeah, we said Tom Ferry was coming up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe so you get those notifications. TF is coming up.
He's here to celebrate the Big B Day with me.
That'll be the day after your birthday. So
it's a big week. It's a big week next week.
I feel like you could be maybe a little hungover.
Never.
No.
Never.
Make sure we'll have to get you an IV that morning.
Never have it. It never happens.
Never.
It never happens.
All right. That's it. Keep it real, guys. We'll see you next week.